Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little bit, but that's kind of what happens in a pandemic. So I am back. I'm in a new house. We've been here about a year. I am currently, we'll let my dog settle. We're currently in my basement in the Peloton room. I am here today to talk about the Peloton Tread. And I have had this treadmill since January of this year. It was just released for sale on Monday, August 30th. So I'm actually filming this today on Monday, August 30th. And we've had it since January, so we've had quite a bit of time to test it out, to figure out the quirks, to figure out if we liked it, and give a really good review before it went on sale to the general public. The very first Peloton to be delivered in the state of Georgia, that's what the delivery people told us. And it was part of a sort of testing group, so we were not given a discount on the treadmill, unfortunately, but we did get it early, and all we had to do was answer a couple surveys. So some of the differences between the Tread and the Tread Plus is, well, the major differences are the size, the belt, and the cost. Tread Plus is quite a bit larger. I went to the showroom to run on both while we were waiting for our treadmill, just to get the feel of the difference. The basic Tread has a 59-inch continuous running belt and a 23.8-inch HD screen. The Tread Plus has a 67-inch belt, and the belt is actually a little bit different than the basic Tread. And the screen is also a lot larger. It's about 10 inches larger, and it is 32-inch screen, so it is quite bigger. Now the belts are different, as I mentioned. The basic Tread just has your basic treadmill belt. It has a red line down the middle, and it's just your average like belt that you see on any treadmill. The Tread Plus has a slat belt, which absorbs shock a little bit better. If you see it, it almost looks like tire tracks on like a bulldozer, whereas like individual slats instead of one continuous belt. When I was in the store, it is quite a bit squishier than the basic Tread, but for what I've used treadmills for, is just basically boot camp classes. I don't run like marathons on this thing. The regular basic Tread is just fine. If you've ever gone to Orange Theory or ever run on a treadmill in like a regular Lifetime Fitness or something, the basic Tread is exactly the same. I would compare the Tread Plus to a Woodway Curve treadmill. The Tread Plus is also higher up from the ground because it has that slat belt. It is higher, so you have to, step up a little bit more to get onto it. One of the final major differences with the belt is that the basic Tread, you have to have it on a certain speed. You have to have it set to a certain speed to run like any other treadmill. The Tread Plus has a free run feature where you can actually push the belt with your own momentum. So you're pushing it faster or slower depending on how fast you're running. There's also a couple like little differences with the screen. So the screen and the mechanics, there is faster Bluetooth on newer, faster Bluetooth on the basic Tread. And then the Tread Plus has a lower resolution camera. It does have a front, or like a selfie front-facing camera, as it like laptops do, where you can talk, no webcam, zoom with your friends. I've yet to use that feature. I don't want to be FaceTiming with anyone when I'm running. So next I'm going to talk about why we decided to go for the basic Tread instead of just getting the Tread Plus. The major reason why we got the basic Tread was the cost. It costs $2,495. And that probably sounds like a lot for a treadmill because it is, but it has a lot of bells and whistles, which I'll show you in a second. I don't have the exact cost of the Tread Plus in front of me because there is actually a recall on it right now and they're not allowed to sell it to the public. So I believe it was around $5,000. So that was the kind of pricing difference. Another awesome part of Peloton is that they offer financing through Affirm. We just bought a house. We are relatively newlyweds. We are relatively young in our careers, and we just couldn't afford a treadmill that cost $4,500. This is half the price, and so that is a major positive. For the price, we didn't need all of those bells and whistles like a nicer belt. I would have liked to have that, but for kind of double the price, it wasn't worth it. Another reason is the size. We have our treadmill in this basement. Our basement has no ceilings actually in this room, but it has lower ceilings than a traditional, maybe newer house basement. Our house was built in the 70s. And so we knew that the distance above your head when you're running, we didn't have as much of that. So getting a taller treadmill that's taller or that's higher off the ground, the Tread Plus, wouldn't have left us a lot of room when we go up on incline. More than just the size in general, the screen size on the Tread Plus is really big. Okay, now I'm going to talk about our first impressions when we first got the treadmill and if those have changed at all since then. So when we had the treadmill delivered, it was on a Monday evening. We were the very last stop of the day for the installers, who, by the way, were amazing. And we took a class that night. My first impression was, this is so fun. I love this so much. I'm so glad we got this. I immediately bought into the Peloton vibe. I joined all the Facebook groups. I followed the instructor that I took that night. I basically was just, I drank the Kool-Aid immediately. Andy, my husband, loved it as well, even though he didn't take a class that night, but just seeing it in our space and all of that. As soon as I got upstairs after I took the first class, he said, I'm calling Morgan tomorrow, we're gonna buy the bike. So as you can see, we have the bike and the treadmill now. My first impression of actually running on the treadmill was that the belt really wasn't very squishy. So as I had run or walked or jogged, whatever, in the showroom on the Tread Plus, it definitely is more of an asphalt feel. There isn't a lot of bounce, which wasn't a big deal or isn't a big deal for me because that is what I'm used to at Orange Theory or running on a treadmill at a gym. But there is a significant difference in the feel of running on like a Woodway Curve or the Tread Plus. I thought that the screen quality, the streaming quality of the classes was amazing. Just like Orange Theory, the boot camp class is super, super fun. It connected almost immediately. I did not have any issues with internet or the sound or using it. It's very intuitive. It's a touch screen, so it's just like using an iPad. The buttons on the side were really intuitive and I really enjoyed them. So first impressions immediately out the gate were like, this is amazing. What we really love about it is the programming. So the classes are great. I love the classes. There've been a couple other classes that I didn't love the instructor or the playlist, and that actually did impact how much I liked the class. But still, it's high quality classes. The instructors are great. They're really engaging. It's just like who you vibe with is the main thing in how you like the classes. My favorite tread instructors are Adrian Williams. By far, he's #1 for me. I also love Chase Tucker. He plays really good music, like from the 90s, not really from the 90s, from like the 2000s, my middle school era, so that's very fun. I also love Jess Sims. She has a class every Saturday, 60-minute boot camp, which is insane, but I absolutely love her energy. We also really love just the look and design of the treadmill. It's very sleek, it's very modern. I alluded to it earlier, but if you like Apple products, like this is a lot like Apple products in that it's pretty minimal, it's very sleek, it's very modern, very hip. Going along with the design, the knobs on the side of the treadmill that increase or decrease the incline and then increase or decrease the speed, I love that feature. It just makes it so much easier to adjust your speed and your incline without having to like meticulously press down on a button until it goes up or down. It's just like it's a smoother way to transition between incline and speed. So that is one of the, I don't know, maybe I haven't seen a lot of treadmills recently, but that's one of the distinguishing characteristics for me that I've not used on a treadmill before. I really love the screen. It's really convenient to have a screen right in front of you. It's really easy to use. It's big enough for me where I don't feel like I'm squinting to see. I wouldn't have to squint to see a person running on a treadmill, but it's also not too big to where I feel like it's like really in your face. That's how I felt with the Tread Plus. So I really love the screen. The screen's also really sleek and there's not a bunch of cords or it's not bulky. There's a lot of details about your run that are shown on the screen, which is really great. You can see your speed, you know, your average speed, where you're ranking in class, if people are sending you high fives, or which are basically likes, the playlist information, your heart rate, everything. You can see all of that on the screen, or you can take it away and just see the screen. And it's super customizable, so if you just want to see your rank in class and you don't want to see how fast you're running, or if you just want to see how fast you're running, you don't care about the playlist or your heart rate, you can take everything off and just see the class. And lastly, the classes actually stream to a smart TV or like an Apple TV. So we stream the strength classes over to our flat screen TV so that when I get off the treadmill, I can still see the screen. And now for a couple things that we would change or improve on it, because you know, nothing's perfect. As far as the programming goes, we absolutely love the classes. I don't really have anything to complain about as far as how the instructors teach, or even the number of classes that are available to you, because all the classes are available to you on demand from as far back as I think like 2 or 3 years ago, whenever they came out with the Tread and the Tread classes. But I would recommend, and this is probably a sign of the times and not having so many in-person events and things like that, but I would add more live classes for the Tread specifically. There are plenty of on-demand classes that I take. I never have an issue finding a class to take, but I would like to do more live classes, and there just aren't really any that fit in with my work schedule. They're either like at 10:30 in the middle of the day, or they are too early or too late in the day for me. As far as treadmill classes in general, there's probably, I want to say like maybe 2 classes a day that are live. I would also change the sound system. So the speaker isn't great. It isn't something that I have complaints about like every time I use it. Like it's definitely not a surround sound experience. And they do have features on the screen that let you either increase just the instructor's voice or increase the sound of the music, which is great because I almost always decrease the instructor's voice and increase the music. But the sound is kind of flat and it kind of comes out the back of the screen to me, and it's just sometimes hard to hear when you're running. I would also upgrade the tray that comes with the tray that is on the treadmill. It's not bad, honestly. I think it's actually a little bit more upgraded than the Tread Plus in that it has like a little shelf, 2 spaces for water bottles. But I would maybe make it a little bit bigger, maybe make it more of a flat tray, or have like a flat section, or even have a loop for towels or something like that. I would love to walk and use my laptop, but because of how skinny that tray is, I don't think I would trust my laptop to rest there. The major thing that I would change with the connectivity that the treadmill has is to allow it to connect with your Apple Watch. One of the new bikes connects directly to your Apple Watch so that you don't have to wear a separate heart rate monitor, but this treadmill, and I think the Tread Plus too, it does not connect to your Apple Watch, which is so frustrating to me. I have to wear a separate heart rate monitor. It's actually my heart rate monitor from Orange Theory which I don't have an issue with. I mean, it's fine, but it would be way more convenient if I could just connect my Apple Watch. So thank you everyone for watching this review and inside scoop on the basic tread that is now for sale, not on sale, is now for sale on Peloton's website. You can order it at the link below. I'll have my affiliate link in there and it might get you a little something special. Usually they run some promotions like for free accessories if you use someone's referral link, so I will include that in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you plan on ordering the Tread, basic Tread, or if you want to wait for the Tread Plus. Eventually I will have a little preview of our entire gym and the process we took to renovate it from just an old unfinished basement, and I might even have a little review on our bike. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day and I'll see you next time.